Hola, and welcome to day 13 of my 30-day live challenge. And quick recap here, I am working to close the gap between the level of comfort that I have in writing, which I'm very comfortable doing, and the level of comfort that I have in speaking, especially in situations like this, live or public speaking, or just generally uncomfortable public speaking environments. So I am doing 30 days at the suggestion of a business coach, going live to basically practice and look for some areas to improve, and just get in the habit of doing it, building up that muscle a little bit. And today, so I've been talking primarily about sales and marketing, and today I will make this, even if I have to force it, I will bring this back to business or sales and marketing of some sort. But I want to talk, like I said, I'll probably go out of my lane here, but I want to talk today about some thoughts that I had with putting our kids in a more traditional school. So for a little bit of context, we've up to now, we have a 6-year-old, 4-year-old. Up to now, they have done alternative schooling. They've done, we live in Mexico, and they have a wonderful teacher here that does a lot of work with them one-on-one. And, they have, sometimes another kiddo attends the classroom with them. Prior to that, we've done we tried to do some public schooling here. COVID fucked that up. And, our oldest has done some Montessori and stuff prior to that. So largely alternative school for the most part. Not a whole lot of traditional classroom public school stuff that you would normally think of. And so both of them are going to school. John he's 6, and the assessments and the evaluations that they do were a little different for him than they were Carter, because John, they were trying to assess where he was between K3 and first grade, and so they put him through some tests, like some reading, some math, some critical thinking, problem solving, psychological stuff. And today, Sam and I sat down via Zoom with the school to hear the results. And overwhelmingly, like I'm not bitching about the tests. Overwhelmingly, it was all done top notch. Very, it's a great private school. Very talented people, very smart people. They are going to attend the school, and so all is fine, all is good. But there was this takeaway as I'm sitting and I'm listening to this evaluation, and the takeaway for me was this theme of what felt like sameness. It felt like, okay, kids that are 6 or 5 and just turned 6, they should be like, there's this band of normalcy, and they should be here, within here. And if they're outside of here, then we have to take some corrective measures. We have to address that. We have to bring them back, because we want them here. And that's I get it. Like I get it from an education standpoint. You've got to be able to measure. You've got to have some standards. You've got to, ensure that kids are meeting a particular standard, and that teachers are excelling. So I completely get it. But some of the examples that we had were, like they said, when things don't go his way, he gets really frustrated, and sometimes it seems that he can get angry when things don't go his way. And another one was, if you want him to play a game or something like that, like it would be better to explain all of the rules and exactly how it works, because he wants to understand all of it before he starts playing that game. And as I'm listening, like, some of these is like, yeah, like, is there something wrong with that? Because I am that, and I'm not just projecting. Like, when I think of like some of what they're saying, and I said this on the call, that's the flip side to that is driven and competitive. And I'm not trying to manufacture some particular type of child, but yeah, he's really competitive. He likes to win. He doesn't like to lose. He likes to understand, like, okay, if I'm going to play this game, what are all the rules? Because I need to understand them so that I can win, so that I can play it effectively. And I taken too far, I get, like, you can take that to an extreme. But as I'm like do I need to change that? Like, is he outside of the band? Maybe he's a little bit more competitive. So let's see if we can dial that back. Or he's a little bit more analytical and wants to understand things. So let's dial that piece down. And it's not, I feel like I'm not necessarily criticizing the process. I think I'm making an observation of the theme of sameness, because my experience, like in most relationships, but especially in business, is that the magic of a success, of great relationships, of great teams, of great organizations, the magic is in the differences. It's in what make people unique. It's in the differentiation between an organization, between a person, and finding the things that people are uniquely great at and leaning into those. It's, the most successful people that I know, by my own definition, they do things differently. Like, that's what made them successful. And by doing things differently and succeeding at that, it built a confidence muscle, and they continued to do that. The most successful people that I know are not, and some of the most confident people that I know are not the ones that stay in the band here, like in the safety zone. Like, it's not like every time they don't do things the exact same way everyone else does them. They don't react to situations the same way everyone else does. They don't have the exact same thoughts. Like, there are differences, and that's what makes them great. And now, when I'm as a business, so I'm going to bring this back to sales and marketing business. If I'm thinking about a team, like, if I want to get like the best out of somebody, the absolute best, what I want to do is I want to look for what they do that's unique. What do they do better than anyone else? And I want to identify that, and I want to lean way into it. And if I'm assembling a team, maybe this doesn't work in classrooms. Like, there's a reason I'm probably not running a school. But if I'm assembling a team, I'm going to find the best and the best and the best and the best, and it's that again, that's the magic. And then the synergy between how they interact and how they relate to one another. Like, that's where like shit gets really, really cool from my experience. And I'm not a teacher, and I'm not necessarily criticizing the education system or the school, obviously. And maybe it's just years of, like, 20 years of sales and marketing where I have, intentionally looked for what make people in businesses and organizations different from one another. Like, from a marketing standpoint, you really want to identify, the different segments, like, and appreciating the differences. And so maybe part of it's my experience, but people, especially kids, like, they're not all supposed to be the same. Like, I don't know that I fully subscribe to this. Like, everything's within this exact, band of normalcy. Like, I don't know that there's a formulaic way to get them all to do the same thing and behave the same way and react the exact same way. And even if there was, like, what fun is that? So maybe it's different in a classroom than a business. But I can tell you this, like, I love hiring rebels and rebellious people. I love hiring people that do shit differently. And I've found when people do shit differently, they also learn they have to be really good at it. Because if I'm going to do this differently, there's going to be critics. There's going to be people that say I should be doing it this way. And in order to keep doing it this way, I've got to be really goddamn good. So, my view, all of this is fine. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. It's an incredible school, and the kids will be perfectly fine. But the magic, if you're building a team, if you're building an organization or a business, just the magic is in what makes people unique. That's what makes them so valuable. At least that's my view. So that's all I've got for tonight. Hopefully I didn't offend anybody, but if I did, I did. And if I didn't, I'll see you tomorrow.